Hello and welcome to Motorcycle Live in Birmingham. We're here at the NEC. It is Tuesday. My name's Tom Brooks. We're here for Motorsport Media and Motorsport Radio. And alongside me is my colleague and brand new recruit to Motorsport Media and Motorsport Radio, Rebecca James. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Tom. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming along. So it's been a really exciting show up until this point. Loads of great announcements. I think the first announcement we should probably talk about is with regards to JG Speedfit Kawasaki, who have come on board with Bournemouth, of course, and have signed Leon Haslam and, of course, Luke Mossey for 2017. Sounds really good.
That is going to be a fantastic team for 2017. I mean, we saw how close Leon Haslam came last year, pushing Shaky Bone all the way, and it was just unfortunately the brake lever and the handlebars that caused the issue in the last round at Brands that really sort of scuppered his chance. He was up against it as it was, but unfortunately that was what put a stop to his title challenge. It was his first season back after coming over from World Superbikes, and he had a fantastic first season. If you continue that momentum into 2017 with his new team with JG Speedfit, then I can't see why he can't be pushing Shaky again on the Ducati, and Shaky's going for his 6th, and hopefully Leon Haslam can get his first, so fingers crossed there.
It's going to be really exciting, and we've also seen some really exciting announcements actually, and quite surprising ones at Tyco BMW, of course, as well, with Christian Idden, but alongside him, World Superbike recruit Davide Giuliano. That's something we weren't expecting. Definitely
wasn't expecting. I mean, we heard rumours that he was going to come over from World Superbikes. He had a difficult season in 2016, as we all know. Great news that Christian Idden's back with them. I think he had a good season last season. It was a good starting block for him, and now he's going to have such a talented rider in Davide Giuliano back with him into next year. It's going to really push both Christian into getting, doing a little bit better and staying a little bit fitter than what he did this season. But for Giuliano and for the British Superbike crowd and fans themselves, what a name to have in the paddock, and they're going to be here every other week in their home country. It's going to be fantastic, and I think it's going to be a real crowd puller for the British Superbike fans. I'm excited to see how Davide does. I think it'll be a good move for him. As I say, he struggled again a little bit in the close of last season, so moving across to British Superbikes, I'm not saying it's going to be easier for him, but I think it'll give him good healthy competition to keep his fitness levels up.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see, and of course new circuits for Davide to learn as well. I mean, he's been around the likes of Brands Hatch and Silverstone before now, but he hasn't been around Alton Park, Cadwell Park and so on, and I mean they're very different to the wide open circuits we're used to in World Supers as well. It's going to be an interesting challenge, do you think?
I think it will be. I think it'll take him a while to settle in. I mean, he knows the format. We have the 2 races in World Superbike, so race 1 in every new circuit that he goes to might be a little bit shaky because obviously he'll have had the practice and the qualifying, but there's nothing like a race. So I think race 1 he might be a bit shaky, but he's a quick learner, and when it comes to race 2 on that BMW, if it goes as well as he did sort of last season, and we saw how well we didn't expect the BMWs to be as competitive as they were, then Davide will settle right in if he moves to England as well, which will be interesting.
It certainly will be, and of course in terms of British Superstock next year, or National Superstock we should call it, of course we've had Morello Racing, and British Superbike rider for this year has gone back to stock next year, Danny Buck, and he's going to be riding on the Morello Racing Kawasaki alongside Fraser Rogers. And now Fraser, of course, being top Kawasaki this year and consistently very quick over the course of the year. It's a good pairing, that really is.
It is a good pairing. I think it's a good move for Danny Buchan to go back down. Hasn't gone his way in recent times in British Superbikes, and I think the move back down probably could maybe give him a little bit more confidence. And alongside Fraser Rogers, is a fantastic rider and has got a really good solid future ahead of him. It's going to be a strong team that hopefully if they can bed in early on and work together to build the bike and sort of gel as a team, they might be an unstoppable force.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. And of course behind us we've got the Black Horse stage as well. We've got James Whittam up here, Carl Fogarty's here for this Tuesday today as well. Loads of things going on. It's a real hive of activity here, isn't it?
I mean, they always put on a fantastic show for Motorcycle Live. There's so many different activities. They have tyre changes, they had the Strongman last year. Hopefully they're doing that this year, because Scott Redding did it last year and it was literally the best thing I've seen. And they hang 2 tyres off the shoulders, and I was shaking watching them do it, because I can only imagine how heavy one of those tyres is to stand there with 2 there. But you have a question and answer session, like sort of a question of sports style quiz between all the riders that are here on a day, interviews that it just gives you such an insight, and it's a real enjoyable experience for all the fans that come here every day. There's something going on every day for the fans in Motorcycle Live, and it really is a good show, and want to finish the season off well.
Absolutely, yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing how that goes. It's not the only thing, of course, here at the Black Horse stage. There's loads of other things going on throughout the course of the show, so let's go ahead and have a look and see what we can find out and see. So we're here at the Carol Nash stand, and as you can see to my right, there is a simulator that people can have a bit of a go on. Now, I had a go on this yesterday. Terrifying it was as well. They basically can have a go on a Supersport 600 bike around the Snetterton circuit. Now, I'm going to have a go on it in just a couple of moments' time, and then we're going to get Rebecca James to have a bit of a go as well, which is going to be very exciting. As you can see behind me, this gent is having a bit of a run on it so far, and it's proving to be very interesting. We've seen a few crashes, a few spills, and expect more of that from us in just a couple. But let's jump on it, shall we, and see how we get on. Good. Go on, go! Yes!
Hello and welcome back to Motorcycle Live here at the Birmingham NEC Arena in 2016. We are of course here at the Honda stage. Honda have had a fantastic season so far, and we've got a glorious amount of bikes on offer courtesy of Honda here in one of the main halls today. We are surrounded by so many bikes. We've got the RC21V road bike, which is obviously the road version of the Marc Marquez race bike, which looks absolutely glorious, and next to it we have the RC213VS. Honda have had such a fantastic season this season. Obviously Marc Marquez winning his third MotoGP championship, his fifth world title in all, and this is the road bike that you're looking at now. And quite frankly, if I had enough money in the world, Tom, I think I would probably purchase just my colour, I think. So we're going to make our way further back round the Honda garage. As you can probably imagine, one of the busiest stands in the NEC. Honda have such a prolific history in motorcycle racing, and everyone wants to get up close and personal to their road and race bikes, to their heroes and everyone involved. Here we've got to the superbike section. We have the Fireblade SP, which is the road racing bike for the endurance racing here, and right next to it, one of my personal favourites, Dan Linfoot's very own Fireblade from his British Superbike campaign. Dan Linfoot obviously just missing out on finishing in one of the top 3 spaces in this season's British Superbike Championship. Just ran out of steam in the final round at Brands Hatch, but still a fantastic season for Dan Linfoot. He's back with Honda next year in 2017. He and Jason O'Halloran teaming up together yet again to hopefully bring some titles to Honda in their British Superbike campaign. We've got more bikes as we go back. Obviously you can see in the background we've got the old Fireblades, and we've got the very new Fireblade SP on show here today. As you can see, another gentleman has just got on trial. If we can get Tom Brooks on there, I think we will do just that, because he likes a good bike. But the new Fireblade looking absolutely beautiful in all its glory here at the Honda stage in the Birmingham NEC Arena. The Racing Red looking perfect from start to finish, and we have obviously more bikes here at Honda, and I could probably talk you through all of them, but quite frankly I want to go and sit on as many as I possibly can without Tom getting too frustrated at me.
Don't be silly, Bex, you can never annoy me. Now we're down here at the Kawasaki stand. You can see behind me we've got the Kawasaki H2. Of course, this bike was ridden by Keenan Sofawoglu, of course, across that bridge to its top speed, I think of about 247 miles an hour, something along the lines of that. This being the carbon R version, basically. You can see the fantastic winglets, fantastic design, really a masterful piece of production. Now, the thing I do want to go and have a look at is just behind me, because we've got the JG Speedfit Kawasaki. Now, we spoke about this earlier on when we introduced this little vlog that we were doing. I just want to go and have a look and show you this bike in all of its glory, because they've got a brand new livery. It's the Bournemouth Kawasaki team that are going to be running the bike in the 2017 season, and this is the bike in question. It was on display here. This is where the riders were announced: Leon Haslam, Luke Mossey, and Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood, of course, as well as James Hillier for the Bournemouth Kawasaki team, sponsored by JG Speedfit, and a brand new livery on that bike, looking absolutely gorgeous at the moment. You can really see the JG Speedfit cool Kawasaki looking lovely. Good to see the colours back out there once again. Good to see Bournemouth Kawasaki getting the support that they deserve as well. Really very, very wonderful indeed. Now I want to have a bit of a wander back around through and just have a quick wander through here, because they've got some classic Kawasaki motorcycles that are on display at the moment. We love classic bikes, we love classic Kawasaki's especially. I'm trying to walk backwards and not run into everybody, which is proving to be a bit more difficult than you would begin to imagine. Z900 over to my left hand side. On the right, just in front of me, we've got the Z650 as well. So really wonderful, lovely colours. Really don't see very many of those out on the roads anymore. And then as we just move further on down, we're going to conclude this video by going and having a look at the modern super bikes and super sport machines. Now this is the Team Green section, where of course they've got their champions and their trophies and bits like that. Over to the right hand side you've got the British MX1 motocross machine that was run, of course, by Tommy Searle. He won that championship this year on his KX 450F machine. To the left of that, you've got Jordan Weavings, his National Junior Superstock Championship machine, his NMT No Limits Kawasaki ZX6R also on display. And then in the middle, perhaps the one that pretty much everybody here will recognise really, is Jonathan Ray, his Kawasaki Ninja ZX10R, the World Superbike Champion, the reigning World Superbike Champion, and of course taking his second back-to-back title in 2016. Over to the left-hand side of that, we've got Leon Haslam's 2016 JG Speedfit Kawasaki bike. Again, second in the British Superbike Championship, just missing out to Shaky Byrne at the final round at Brands Hatch. And then to the left of that, we've got Andrew Irwin's Gearlink Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R, of course, that of course competed in the the British Supersport Championship in 2016. So a good amount of motorcycles and machinery on display here at Kawasaki. Really excited to see how things go in 2017, especially for the Bournemouth Kawasaki team over there. But really nice to see what's going on here at the Motorcycle Live Show at the NEC in Birmingham.
And so we're back here at one of the more unusual stands at Motorcycle Live, a sport that not many people in the UK attend anymore. We're at this Coventry Speedway stand. They're the only UK team to have a stand here, and they have a stand here every year. No one else unfortunately joins them, but they are doing their best to raise as much awareness of the sport speedway as they possibly can. Their stand this season is twice the size they had last year, and hopefully it can continue growing year on year. We have a range of bikes through the ages. One of the old bikes, the Java engines. We used to have stand-up engines here at Speedway. Speedway, of course, is a 500cc capacity engine, no brakes, no gears. You go flat out from 0 to 60 faster than a Formula 1 car, and when you hit that first turn at around 60 mile an hour with no brakes, and you have only your left leg to steer you around that corner, it is possibly one of the most terrifying things you can ever do, but one of the most thrilling in the same sense. As we move on through the years, we went from the stand-up engines down to the lie-down engines, still the same capacity engine, still a 500cc bike, but they decided that the lie-down engine, with the way the frame was just worked slightly better. As we move on through, so we have down here, just behind the engine, the sprockets where they tighten up. This is part of where the gears for the chain, obviously we only have the one gear, so depending on how the track is, the mechanics will tighten or loosen these to for the back wheel to spin and grip enough to propel the rider into the first corner, and then down and forward the back straight. A tyre will only last just a few races, bear it or not. With the way the shell is made up in many tracks, can really run ragged on the tyre. You're not meant to actually change them in a league meeting in the UK. You are allowed over on the continent, but in the UK you've got your 2 tyres for your 2 bikes, and that is all you are allowed. But Coventry Speedway are doing a fantastic job here at a Motorcycle Live, raising as much awareness as they possibly can. They've been boosted by the fact that in a few weeks' time the fans are said to be owning their stadium. Their stadium was under threat to be a building site, which a lot of stadiums we've shown with Speedway and stock cars, greyhound racing as well, are going into more housing developments because they're just not getting the following. I've been told that Coventry Speedway the fans should be owning their stadium in a few weeks, so we are set to see Coventry Bees in the Elite League and the Coventry Storm in the National League for far few years to come.
Hello and welcome to the Suzuki stand at the Motorcycle Live show at the NEC. It's a brand new day, and standing next to me is the Suzuki GSX-R 125. Next to that is the 600 model, then we've got the 750 machine, and then the 1000R version, the brand new bike for 2017. Great to see Suzuki with such a fantastic display here this year. Loads of great things on offer for people to have a look at, including what is behind me. That's the brand new GSX-R 1000R, the 2017 model, but alongside that you'll see something pretty special. The GSX-RR rather, which is their MotoGP machine. This bike actually having been ridden by Aleix Espargaro in this year's MotoGP Championship, and looking absolutely wonderful out there. And as you can see by the amount of hands surrounding it and the amount of bodies, it's garnering quite a fair amount of attention as well. Aside from that, if we move on round towards the other side of the stand and wander on through, there's the GSX-S machine, the sporting model. More of a sit-up style bike, this one. Further back we've got one of their dirt bike machines. There's a quad bike to my right hand side now as well, again with the XR Aleix Espargaro livery on it. And then there's something that's pretty entertaining over just behind me now, which is the MotoGP bike of Maverick Vinales of 2015 and 2016. But as you can see, it's over at a degree angle of 62 degrees, and that is because that is the sort of rotation that most riders are reaching when they are on the motorcycle in MotoGP. And as you can see, people certainly enjoying a good old go. Loads of great things on offer to behind me as well. Loads of brand new motorcycles, SV650Ss are here. There's loads of scooters over to the other side of the stand as well. You can see a powerboard engine here for one reason or another, and a toolbox to my right. So loads of great things on offer here at the Suzuki stand here at the Motorcycle Live show at the NEC. Let's go and see what Leicester's found.
He's off!
He's off, he's out of control. Where's the track? I'll commentate something. There he is. And he's off! He's into the right-hander, turning in, braking, he's on the throttle, onto the power, down the straight he goes, head down. He's accelerating, he's going up the gearbox, trying to find his braking point on the right-hand side. Coming up to the bridge now, will he find the braking point? Yes, he will. Braking, standing up into the left-hander.
Terrible.
Oh, that's good, well, isn't it?